Right, Shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and honors to you brothers out there in the highways and the byways teaching this word in all sincerity and in truth. And I just want to cover this whole Brexit joke, because that's what it is to me. It's a big joke. Theresa May, she's now submitted the Article 50. Okay, so they finally decided that they're gonna submit this Article 50. Let's play this clip.
Today, Britain's Prime Minister Theresa May is going to invoke Article 50 of the EU Treaty. That's the formal legal mechanism by which the Brexit process begins. For Britain, the stakes are particularly high. The relationship with the EU is by far its most important diplomatic, political, economic relationship, and walking away with a decent deal is a top priority. What you might not have heard is that this 2-year period actually is going to be a lot shorter than that sounds. It's going to be delayed at the beginning by EU bureaucracy and elections in France and Germany, and it's going to be delayed at the end by the need to agree this agreement in all the member states of the EU. That can take 6 months too. So actually we're talking about 1 year, not 2. The thing to look out for today is exactly what Theresa May says in her letter. Specifically, people in Brussels are looking for some kind of acknowledgement on her part that Britain does owe the EU something on leaving. People in Brussels have been talking about a bill of up to 60 billion euros, and some politicians in Britain, on the other hand, have been saying that Britain should walk away without paying anything at all. If she doesn't at least acknowledge that, then the negotiations are going to get off to a very rocky start. People are very worried that Britain might not just get a bad deal, it might end up with no deal at all. If it crashes out of the EU without any kind of agreement, well, various things could happen. First of all, trade is going to be interrupted, and Britain has to fall back on World Trade Organization rules. But there could be even more destructive consequences. If Britain leaves without any agreement on things like rules for flights or customs agreements, then you could see lorries backing up at Dover, flights not allowed to take off from Gatwick. It could be very, very complex indeed. And so, in spite of the assurances of some Conservative MPs that no deal would be better than a bad deal, it seems important for Britain that it walks away with at least some kind of agreement with the EU on how this divorce is going to work.
Yeah, so it was real easy going in, and it's really complex coming out. And like I was saying from the beginning, this whole episode is set up by the elites. Okay, this is all part of the agenda. Okay, this is all part of the narrative. Alright, and it's all leading into that great chaos that they're going to set up in the midst of all this. Alright, because how they want the nations to come together is through chaos. Alright, and the Brexit is just part of that. Alright, whether or not they're going to make it to 2 years, personally I don't believe that. I believe that World War III and complete economic collapse is going to happen before they ink any deal. But the thought of there being a Brexit, as you see, is good enough. It brings uncertainty. It adds to the chaos that's gonna come. Alright, so like I said, they got a 2-year window on this thing. Now is the time, man, to seek the Lord, because the elites, they got plans, man. They got plans to usher in this new world order, man. Alright, that's the main thing. Alright, they have plans to issue in this new world order. The scripture tells you in Revelations, in fact, let's get that before we get Ecclesiastes 12, man. So I wouldn't even be looking to see the end of this 2-year period, man, without some major ish going down, forcing these European nations, because the World War III is going to force these European nations to get along. They're going to have to get along. And ultimately their goal is for World War III as a whole to be so terrible that ultimately it forces all the nations to come together. But we know at that point the Lord is going to make his return. But let's get Revelation 12 and 12, because we're not ignorant to these elites and their maneuvers, man. Even when a maneuver seems to be against globalism, you gotta understand that it's problem reaction solution as well. The rise of all this populism and nationalism, which Lord Will, the brother Ariel, is gonna get into that this week. It may seem genuine to you, but it's not genuine. Now, on a base level, are there people that are genuine? Are there people that are truly passionate about nationalism? Yes. But when you see it break out as it has, the timing of it, you better know that it's been co-opted. You better know that it's been set up, man. Okay, all these guys, Nigel Farage, Le Pen, you know what I'm saying, Trump, they're all set up, man. The UKIP party has been a controlled party from the very beginning. Alright? So you got to look at the timing of all. Here it is, World War III. We're literally on the precipice of World War III. And all this Brexit and nationalism breaks out in Europe. Come on, man. It's the same thing that they did for World War II. Alright? Now, this is Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Okay, these elites, you know, they've had a plan which they've been executing for the last, 300 years, since the 1700s, and it's getting to that point now which they're seeing the signs of the return of the Lord. They're getting scared, and they're fast forwarding their agenda to bring in that new world order. And again, their agenda to bring in that new world order is order ab chaos. The order they want to bring it into chaos through war. Okay, through war, economic collapse, all of the above. All right, so when you see them finally kickstarting this Article 50, this decision, you gotta understand, this decision was set up by the elites. This exact date was selected by the elites for a reason, because it fits into the timing of their plans and what they're planning. And that's what the average person doesn't understand. They think Theresa May no, she didn't make no damn decision. She's doing what she was told. This is all part of the setup. All right. Oh, it's the end of the EU. You really believe that? The end of the EU is going to come when Yahushua comes and destroys their army. This ain't no end of the EU. This is just them doing their thing. Problem, reaction, solution. Alright? The problem is going to be the breakup of the so-called breakup of the EU, economic collapse and war. And the solution is going to be to bring everybody together. Alright? So, hey, now is the time to seek the Lord, man. I'm going to get that. Ecclesiastes 12:1. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I shall have no pleasure in them. Now is the time, because basically the elites, they're entering into the last stage of their plans, which involves a whole lot of death and destruction. So you better make sure that you right with Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, that you don't get caught up in what's about to happen. Like I said, this summer, we don't know what might happen this summer. You got Mayday coming up. Alright? These elites have got plans. And the Lord is going to give them the power to bring forth many of those plans, leading into the war and so forth, because ultimately, that's in the plans of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Alright? So, hey, seek ye the Lord. Shalom. Hey, cause even in the UK, this whole Article 50 is bringing up a bag of worms, man, with the Ireland and Scotland and all that. So, it's just chaos, man. So with that, say shalom.